Sorry about that. Eventually, because Yushi was such a careful listener, I got the walking stick back and put it in the car. Then the next thing you know, Janet had to take the car to retrieve Abby's purse. And we were all praying that she could find her way in the dark and find that purse, because that looked like a lost cause. Well, it was right in the same fairy garden area. So there was these giant mushrooms and everything. And Ireland was just so absolutely enchanted. Unfortunately, though, I didn't get to keep my walking stick. So I guess we're going to move forward to just see a little bit of this video that I did. And we'll let that record. And then second thing is that I have this beautiful Mother Mary message. And then the Princess Diana message is last but not least, the most revealing, most incredible thing from her. So I'm hoping this works. Okay. Uh-oh, what am I doing here? I don't want to screen share. Yikes, I've got a mess on here. Let me see if I can share this one. Okay. All right. Can everybody see that? It looks pretty small to me.
Yeah, it looks great. It's kind of long and narrow.
Well,
you can make it longer, bigger with your fingers.
All right. Let me see if I can bring it up.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. Amen. We're going to start from the beginning. That would make sense. All right.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now it's not playing. It was playing a minute ago.
You got to get that one thing to the left where it hasn't crossed through the speaker. You got to uncross it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it playing?
Mute.
Can you see this or hear it? I don't know why it would be muted. It wasn't muted a minute ago.
Yeah, if you.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Okay.
supposed to not be crossed though. It's still muted. You need to, get it really good.
Wait a minute. I don't know which button. Is that it? Oh, it's nothing but muting. It's just not.
It's not unmuting.
And
Oh, here we go.
There, you're good.
Okay.
Celestial blessings on this day.
Okay. Let me turn it up so you can
Trusting
hear.
that all is well and in divine order, for it is the time of the full
Thank you
moon
for technical
and the
assistance.
turning of the seasons to winter.
See, there's Yushi.
So we ask
and here
you
we
all
are.
to utilize
Let's hear it.
the energy
It was
of
gorgeous
the
that day.
crystalline grid, which was set up eons ago. For the archaeologists do not know exactly how old this really is, but I tell you, it's more than 10,000 years old, as most henges are. And with the help of the ET presence, these places were called in. They are designed along the ley lines, and they are for your enjoyment and for the protection of the earth. So call on me today if you need a healing, whether it be body, mind, or spirit. We are here. We are the energies of the divine goddess, the full moon goddess energies. For it is the time of the full moon, and in ancient times I was worshipped as the Mother Earth Gaia. But now I am known as Mother Mary, and I've taken on many forms. And Mary Magdalene is here too, helping us all to birth the new earth. So beloveds, I bless you with my divine feminine presence, as Jeshua is here as well. And we all travel in safety, and we all travel in love.
You see this orb coming
And
through
I
right
give
here?
I see it.
Okay, isn't that lovely?
and celebrate the
Nice
earth as
angelic
well as the
energy, and it's
stars
coming right
above.
between Deepy and I.
Thank you for listening to my message. I am Mother Mary. I am Mary Magdalene. Aum. Amen. And we can say it. Aum. Aum.
Amen. That's very nice.
Isn't
Thank
it?
you.
You're looking really good, by the way. That Irish air must have been really good for you.
Oh, it was so healthy, except I did get COVID at the end and it
Oh,
was very disappointing, but I kind of had a feeling Archangel Michael had tipped me off that I needed to take a test kit and some herbs along and be watchful. And then when we got there, we weren't separated enough. We were only a foot apart and doing yoga and breathing, and a lot of that breathing. I was next to a guy that apparently had it and didn't know. And
Um,
so then we did a lot of, breath work and group work together. So we ate together. Everyone that I know got it. And I don't know how it started, but I lived through it and I have immune compromised system. So I just took extra D, and Ushi was nice enough to share with me some of the alternatives with the high vitamin D dose up to 10,000. And then for zinc, 50 milligrams. And then I took the monoclonal antibody because I knew I was immune compromised. So I had a very fast and very easy recovery. But for anyone who's out there today experiencing symptoms, we can send a little Reiki your way. I'm sending right now to Ushi. And let's send her in prayer and call in Mother Mary as I open this message that I just channeled today. So,
okay.
all right, just calling in the presence of Mother Mary, Jeshua, Mary Magdalene, and all the ascended masters, Princess Diana, Saint Germain, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, all the archangels that are working with us today, and calling in the light and the rainbow light body and sending it out to Ushi in particular, who's still healing. And for any other people on the retreat, we ask for their healing as well. And just connect us to the rose energy of Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, and then I'll go forth. So you can receive. This is a very peaceful, loving message from Mother Mary, and just receive it and go into your heart with it and open the heart if you would. Just try to visualize that nice white light coming in from the crown into your third eye, into your throat, your mouth, your ears, and flowing down into your heart. And let Mother Mary soften the heart, open the heart to compassion, to peace, to the energy of the original intentions of Mother Mary in her incarnation, and the intentions of all the divine feminine masters, Lakshmi and Durga, and all the representatives of the hierarchy. Whatever masters you work with, just call them in and let them surround you in light and healing as we open to our hearts in prayer and meditation. I've heard your call, Mother Mary, for a brief session on the energies of December, and anything that you can add or would like to share with our group as well, the beautiful energies of Ireland and the mysterious energy that provides it. Anything else you would like to say about the Fae energy or anything like that? My love, it is I, your mother, speaking to you now. As a mother, for so many of you have lost mothers in these last few years. And I come to send comfort and joy to your soul today, to cheer you and to share my joy with you. My will is to spread joy around the world, even though the world is still in war and pain and suffering. The divine feminine is still emerging, and she is most needed now in all the countries. So we would ask that you hold in prayer the women of Iran, the women of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, and many other of Afghanistan and Arab countries where the women's voice is not allowed to be heard, her head is not allowed to be shown, and all the patriarchal forms of oppression are very, very oppressive to women. though I hold great respect for the Muslim religion. We are here to unify the consciousness and discard the old ways of religion, especially the patriarchal religion. And I stand with Mary Magdalene as a towering example of the courage that it took some 2022 years ago, approximately, to stand up to the male patriarchal system at that time in Israel, where we were well respected and with Jeshua's full support, where he intended to empower women. It is crucial at this time as light workers that we come together in unity and discard some of the more patriarchal systems, even in the USA, that are still wanting to oppress women. Without getting political, we wish to say that the patriarchal system is trying to take your rights away, especially with the recent actions of the Supreme Court. We feel that this is a distortion of the public will, and equality for women must be restored. And as well, we want to say that we respect the birthright of the unborn, but we respect the mother's right to life and liberty as well. The old patriarchal systems of religion will be exposed for the fraud that they are, and continue in your evolving process of the breath work, the meditation, the connecting to the light of the sun. Even though we are nearing the solstice and we have some of the darkest days of December, you know that the sun will come again at the solstice and bring brightness to your holiday. For this was the origin of the entire Christmas holiday. Try to connect with nature and the trees as you did in Ireland, for the trees hold a magic power to soothe the soul as it grounds you when you are in the heavenly realms so often, but also work with the nature spirits and the fairy spirits and so many of the gnomes and all of the elementals that exist. We talked a lot about the fairies in Ireland, and yes, they're there in all sorts of forms and etheric energy beings as well. If you look at some of the new pictures you found on your old camera, which I haven't had a chance to do yet, she's saying, come across some pictures of the Fae. You are indeed connected with them, and you will find examples when you narrow in and zoom in on your pictures. Whereas I also work with the fairies and the animals and the sacred wells and the sacred water of the oceans of the North Atlantic and the Ards Forest, the land and the trees where you felt the walking stick so very special to you, as it was your initiation into the crone energy. So right. Very interesting, because I had a similar walking and talking stick experience with Laura Dare when I went to Britain, which if I have time, I'll share. However, there will be other walking sticks and other forests and adventures that await you. Please, this Christmas, open your hearts to help Ukrainian people that are suffering. And please pray for peace for Russia, for I confirm with Diana, it will not be forever. There is a growing discontent and yearning for democracy in Russia, which will take some time to iron out, but there will be surprises ahead with a plan for peace. And we ask all of you to pray for peace today and to do something for those less fortunate, rather than spending all of your money on trinkets and extravagant expenses, though we know all of you are generous at heart. This is a time when we all need to think about returning to the ways of earth and giving simpler gifts, flowers, artwork, hand knit items, and paintings, and sharing your abundance of food with those less fortunate and left without. So I ask you today, my dear ones, my light workers who represent my divine feminine energy, to try to unify with other light workers, for the forces of dark want you to separate. Yes, over politics. Know well that separation leads to pain and fear and can lead to violence. So hold up your head high and connect with your light within and your heart within to share your light and love with all, regardless of political opinions, for that divides and creates polarization and can only cause great destruction. While I encourage my listeners to think only the positive benefits of uniting with those, even if not like mine, the community of light workers must spread through the light work, for there's been a great infiltration of misinformation for the light worker communities. And that is all I will say for now. My holy heart reaches out to you today. You want to touch your heart with Mother Mary's energy, or the divine feminine energy reaches out to you in each of your hearts with love. I am Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, wishing you tidings of peace for the year and the holy season. Call in my essence in your heart. And Mary Magdalene says the same, to call in her essence into your heart, for as well, they are both advanced healers. I am Mother Mary along with Mary Magdalene, and I send you infinite blessings from the highest realms of illumined truth and love. Blessings upon all women around the world, and blessings specifically for you and your families. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So that was a really nice one. And so anyway, we'll get to Diane now, and then we'll save our questions so we can speak freely and ask questions that may be controversial as these channelings are put forth. So I love having Rosalie here with the Archangel Michael's mount. Makes me feel like maybe I'll get back there again. It's so energized. Oh my goodness. Now in my book, Mary Magdalene Speaks, for those of that you don't have it yet, there is a story about the early Essenes from Joseph of Arimathea, who describes that Michael's Mount was a sacred place for sailors long ago, even 2,000 years ago, when he brought his ships up with the Essenes after the crucifixion and brought both Martha and Mary to Michael's Mount and to the Cornwall area. And then they hiked up the Magdalene Way, as it's known now, which of course have been renamed double carriageways and everything else. But the ley line energy is still there, and it's mentioned very often in this book. And if you would like an interesting read around Christmas, this is the book to get, because it describes the birth of Jesus. It also describes the true Christmas story, but more than that, it describes the Grail artifacts, which Joseph comments, and that's combined with my trip to Israel. And it also combines a lot of secret information about the resurrection, the Ark of the Covenant, Joseph of Arimathea's role in all of the healing that went on in Jeshua's tomb and other tombs that are now located in India, and Jesus's studies in India. So it's the whole untold story that you can't get in the Bible. And you know, there are versions of it, and there's different theories, you know, explained. So I just wanted to mention that, because it also gets into the stone circles and the ley lines again as well. So let me check to see if there's any. All right, there's no one else coming in. And I know you all have questions about what Diana is going to say. It could be very upsetting if you're not familiar with some of the more controversial theories that on her death, but that's what she's speaking of. And if you know my work, then you know that she's said it was not an accident. So this is a profound message from Diana, and it's titled Diana's Christmas Message. And let's call her forth, and her spirit is, take a deep breath and connect to Diana's spirit, which is a little bit different. Very much the same divine feminine energy, but very much the rose energy in the heart. And she says, before you even start, send out my heart of love to each person listening today. And they know that they can call on me, and I'll come in an instant. Whatever you need, I'll be there as your guide, for I have joined Mother Mary in my team of ascended masters, and I took my ascension in a very difficult way on the earth plane through an accident that was planned, and we shall speak of that now. So bless you, Diana. Once again, connecting to you, Diana, we are all asking for peace for the world this Christmas and joyful news to deliver our world, possibly from war and destruction. Diana, good afternoon, darlings. This is the time, and I want to assure everyone their prayers for peace are being heard at this time. I'm working on the diplomatic solutions behind the scenes, for they are going on with other masters like Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and the various ascended masters, Saint Germain and others. Various situations around the world keep coming up as trouble spots. We do confirm that we'll be breaking revelations concerning my death in the next 6 months to a year. The truth will finally be out, and Harry will be both shocked and relieved that he did leave the firm. There will be worldwide repercussions at this time. It will be wise for you to contact your potential like-minded media sources with your bio and your book now rather than then, so as to be able to put you on air for the further updates from myself and the Divine Feminine, which is finally grounding on the planet, even in places like Iran and Pakistan and the greater Middle East. We ask all of you to continue in prayer for the women of the world and their rights. That is not to say that I'm in any way discounting the positive effect that Prince William and Princess Catherine of Wales are having on the kingdom, for they shall inherit the kingdom. As it always was the divine plan, it was never meant for Charles. He wasn't meant to be a ruler long, and he shall meet his fate, so to speak. I shall not say more, except that it will be shocking and the ramifications will vibrate throughout the world.
I do think it's amazing because I can feel all that energy every time they do stuff, especially when the Queen died.
Yeah, that was
intense.
It was intense because any member of the royal family is well loved and well remembered. And I personally never cared for her, but after she died, I felt the respect of years of work, on behalf of diplomatic.
Exactly. Yes.
She contributed so much to the liberation of South Africa. And while she first inherited the kingdom as it was, everybody was in, flux, and a lot of the other places in the world, Africa nations and so forth, were all gradually turned over to greater freedom. So actually, I respected her, and Diana confirms that she's very worthy of respect. So it's not a put down on the royal family at all when I'm saying it's just a personal situation for Diana. It was terrible what happened. And let me go on with her. But, she was a symbol of love and the divine feminine. Even the Queen was, even though the Queen was cold and she had a personality that was different. So whilst I was on the earth plane, I assured others that I would be the Queen of Hearts. That is to say, what I am saying to you listening today, I'd like to invite you to enter my living love vibration and your heart. And if you are feeling lonely or despair, or others in your family are feeling that, to give that love, my love that can heal you personally. So I'm sending out love vibrations to Phyllis also, who has endured a terrible accident. You're looking good, by the way. And then I'll go on with Diana. So receive Diana's healing into your heart. Diana, since you mentioned the world peace and the issues that you were working on, can you say with which areas of the world are of greatest importance? For Ukraine comes to mind immediately to me. Diana, yes, unfortunately, is a crime of mass genocide. And I will just say that Russia will eventually reject Putin, and there shall be a new leader whose name I shall not utter right now. but many of you know who I'm referring to, and that he is in prison right now and not able to be released. Just pray for him that he will be released soon. And there will come a time when there will be a coup d'etat if he, Putin, doesn't pull out of the war soon. If he, Putin, pulls out of the war, he remains in power for a time, but his old patriarchal Kremlin Tsarist regime will eventually tumble because the people everywhere, including Russia, want to hear their voices heard, and they want to be heard and participating citizens of the world. As well, we ask all to continue to pray for the Ukraine, for she is seeing so much bombardment from the Russian missiles, which are firing and depriving them of needed water, electricity, and food. So we ask, instead of giving Christmas gifts, that you remember to make a donation to the Ukrainian cause, whether it be for charity or a donation to a good organization such as Mercy Corps. Lastly, the nations of Africa are also of great concern, for their highly unstable governments are being influenced by extremist rhetoric from the Muslim extremist contingent, and indirectly or directly connected they are to the arms trade, and the rise in fundamentalist ideology is a threat that has materialized somewhat, but could materialize further. Of course, we're not talking about all Muslims, for I was to be married to Dodi at the time, and I respect the Muslim faith, but there are radicalized elements. We do see some of the political situations in the United States will have a gradual unifying effect, but there will be continuation of the unity that is happening even amongst light workers, as we want to warn you to be careful not to become politically divided, as some of the propaganda that is being put out in the name of light work is coming straight from misinformation of Russia herself. There is, for example, some of the QAnon groups are dangerously infiltrating the light worker community and always promising an end to the cabal. There will not come an end to the cabal by one figure, but it will not be a military coup or overthrow. That's certainly unlikely as well. But that won't be soon. These kinds of corrupt secret governments operate all over the world, in Britain and America, and they thrive on big arms deals, high crime, and exploitation and murder. All of the nations of the world are engaged in it, and will take some time to disassemble it and restore democratic rights to everyone that have been denied for too long and are in danger of increasing in this era. And that is what's fueling the underground movements. And then she goes on for including in the United States and Great Britain and elsewhere. I do see overall that monarchies will be taking a lighter role in politics going forward. And even when the scandal, my scandal, is about to break in my name, there will be elements that wish to dissolve the monarchy entirely, both in Britain and around the world. People know about the nefarious goings on with these monarchies and the deals that are cut. I don't need to go into the details, for some of you are well aware of what I'm speaking. But I can say that some assurance that it will not last forever. That being said, the monarchy will be retained in Britain. That being said, everyone needs to just do their part, for mankind is at a juncture where there are still threats of nuclear war, extreme poverty, war, and the possible global war if the Ukrainian situation isn't resolved. An evil hangs over the Ukraine like a dark cloud, and we ask everyone to do the Merkaba meditation if we have time today for peace, or just meditate for peace and send angelic energy to the Ukraine, and for that matter to Russia. Can you say with any certainty that it will materialize this year, Diana? We hope and pray for a ceasefire, and yes, we see one is likely in the negotiations behind the scenes with unlikely partners for peace that will materialize, and we shall come back to more of this reading at another time. I close for now with all my love in a troubled time and wishing everyone peace for the holiday in your families, and pray for peace around the world. I am Diana, the Queen of Hearts, and I give you all my rose and my love. So
That was beautiful.
thank you very much. Now I'm going to turn off the record. I don't see, okay. Recording.